House and on the website. Honorable members, on a related note, allow me to mention an important development that occurred during the recess period. Several members of this House were conferred state honors by His Excellency the President during the second Jamhuri Day celebrations. These national honors were awarded in recognition of their distinguished service to the nation in various capacities. The following members were conferred the honors of Chief of the Order of the Burning Spear, CBS: the Honorable Mark Mwenje MP, the Honorable Dr. Tienda Molo, Senior Council MP, the Honorable Fabian Mule MP, the Honorable John Waluke MP, the Honorable John Kirago MP, the Honorable Ivo Bara MP, the Honorable Bernard Shinal MP, the Honorable Marwa Kitayama MP, the Honorable Rindikiri Mwirithania MP, the Honorable Samuel Atande MP, the Honorable William Kamket MP, the Honorable James Omashukuru MP, the Honorable Gertrude Mbeyu MP, the Honorable Didmas Barasa MP, the Honorable Jackson Kosgei MP, the Honorable Charles Kamren MP, the Honorable Tindi Mwale MP, the Honorable Rosa Bui MP, the Honorable Kazim Tandaza MP, the Honorable Dido Raso MP, the Honorable Brighton Yegon MP, the Honorable Simon Kingare MP, the Honorable Major Retired Bashir Sheikh MP, the Honorable Sarah Korere MP, the Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi MP, the Honorable Lisa Chelule MP, the Honorable Patrick Munene MP, the Honorable Hilary Kosgei MP, the Honorable Rahim Daoud MP, the Honorable Robert Gishim MP, the Honorable Alpha Miruka MP, the Honorable Naisula Lesuda MP, the Honorable Christine Ombaka MP, the Honorable Lemanken Aramat MP, the Honorable Fred Kapondi MP. Members at the bar, take the nearest seats. Karemba, what's your idea of the nearest seat? Member, quickly take the nearest seat. Honorable members, let us take a moment to congratulate them on this well-deserved recognition alongside several members of staff, including our directors of Legislative and Procedural Services, Mr. Kipkemoy Arap Kirui, Legal Services, Mrs. Vena Kama, and Departmental Committee Services, Mr. Peter Chemweno, who were awarded the Order of the Grand Warrior of Kenya, OGW, for their commendable service to the nation. Honorable members, before I conclude, it is with profound sorrow that I remind the House of the untimely demise of our esteemed colleague, the late Honorable Joseph Hamisi Dena, MP, a nominated member of the National Assembly under the Amani National Congress Party, who passed away on Saturday, 6th December 2025, only 2 days after commencement of the long recess. Indeed, I notified members of this sad development on the same day. The late Honorable Miss Dena was interred on Saturday, 13th December 2025 in Kwale, where yours truly and several other members attended. The late Honorable Dena served this House with diligence and commitment, contributing significantly as a member of the Departmental Committee on Sports and Culture, the Select Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunities. In recognition of his dedicated service to the House and the nation, I request that we observe a minute's silence as a mark of respect and remembrance. Shall we be upstanding? May his soul rest in eternal peace. Amen. With respect to the NGCDF, honorable members, as you are aware, the Court of Appeal delivered judgment on the constitutionality of the NGCDF Act 2015 on Friday last week. In its decision, the court upheld all the provisions of the Act except one subsection which ties the term of the NGCDF manager to the term of Parliament. We celebrate the decision of the three judges of the Court of Appeal to side with the people and their representatives. As I have reiterated time and again, honorable members, NGCDF remains the most impactful national intervention on the lives of the common wananchi since independence. I commend the work of the House Legislative Caucus that is ably co-chaired by the Honorable Otienda Amolo, Senior Counsel, and the Honorable Samuel Chepkonga. With the support of our Directorate of Litigation and Compliance, the team painted the true picture of the NGCDF to the court and faithfully told our story. We are grateful for your selfless services to the House. I'm informed that a notice of appeal has now been lodged in the matter. As it proceeds to the Supreme Court, I remain confident that our litigation team shall steadfastly defend this second appeal and again persuade the bench on the constitutionality of the fund. In the meantime, I urge members to be measured in their comments as the matter pens final resolution. Avoid engaging in any rhetoric that casts the NGCDF as a competition or supremacy battle with other bodies or groups. Conscious that the fund is a national government entity domiciled in the State Department for Economic Planning and managed by a statutory body, I advise that we focus our energies on allowing the fund to continue delivering its tangible benefits to the people of Kenya. Finally, honorable members, as we embark on the fifth session, I am confident that the House will continue to build on its commendable performance in consideration of key legislative business and other crucial committee business. Let us remain committed to serving the people of Kenya with diligence, integrity, and efficiency. I once again welcome you back to the House and look forward to a productive fifth session. I thank you. Next.
Order number 3, messages.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Take your seats. Pardon? Order, Mary Maingi, take your seat. Honorable members, I have a message from His Excellency the President in nomination of persons for appointment to state offices. Order. Honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 42.1, I wish to report to the House that I have received 2 messages from His Excellency the President seeking approval of persons nominated for appointment to specific state offices. In the first message, His Excellency the President conveys that in exercise of the powers conferred on him by the provisions of Article 1322E of the Constitution, as read together with Sections 22 and 22(2)A of the Foreign Service Act, Cap 185E, he has nominated Canon Dr. Ida Betty Odinga, EGH, for appointment as a permanent representative of the Republic of Kenya to the United Nations Environmental Program, UNEP. Honorable members, in the second message, His Excellency the President notifies that in exercise of the powers conferred on him by the provisions of Article 2332 and 2502B of the Constitution, as read together with Section 5 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, he has nominated Mr. Francis Major for appointment as chairperson of the Public Service Commission, PSC. Honorable members, the President now seeks the approval of the National Assembly on the appointment of the two distinguished nominees to their respective offices. Honorable members, Standing Order 45 provides that upon receipt of notification of nomination for appointment, such nomination shall stand committed to the relevant departmental committee for consideration. In this regard, with respect to the nomination of the permanent representative to the United Nations Environmental Program, UNEP, the name of the nominee, together with her CV and other testimonials, is hereby referred to the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations for consideration. With respect to the nominee for appointment as the chairperson of the Public Service Commission, the name of the nominee, together with his CV and other testimonials, is hereby referred to the Departmental Committee on Labor for consideration. Honorable members, it's important to note that the first schedule to the Public Service Commission Act, Cap 185, requires the National Assembly to consider the nominee for appointment to the Commission within 14 days, while the Foreign Service Act, Cap 185, it does not provide any timelines. However, Section 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, provides that the committee to which such a nomination is referred shall consider the matter and table a report in the House within 28 days. Accordingly, the approval process shall proceed in accordance with the provisions of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act to afford the two committees sufficient time to undertake the exercise. Honorable members, in this regard, the two departmental committees are expected to immediately commence the approval process, notify the nominees and the general public of the time and place for holding the approval hearings, and thereafter, upon conclusion, table their respective reports within.
Join UDA. The rest notwithstanding, Honorable Speaker, I was just asking if you could give parliamentarians a chance, being the tradition of this House, to pass their condolences to the families and close members, even though belated. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The request is legitimate. Let me finish this other communication. Honorable members, I wish to introduce to you a delegation of 11 members of staff of the Department of Sergeant-at-Arms from the Parliament of Uganda. Honorable members, the delegation is in the country on a visit to the National Assembly to learn about the various strategic programs undertaken in the Directorate of the Sergeant-at-Arms. Honorable members, on my behalf and that of the whole House, I welcome them to Parliament and wish them fruitful engagements during their stay in the country. Thank you. Yes, honorable members, I can give you a few minutes to eulogize Honorable Dena, starting with Milemba himself. 2 minutes each. We'll do that for maximum of 30 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I take this chance on behalf of myself, family, and the people of Emuhaya, together with the fraternity of the former ANC party, to pass my condolences to the family of MP Amisi Dena, who was a member of parliament nominated by the ANC party then. Amisi Dena was a very calm member of parliament who preferred to sit just behind me here, Honorable Speaker, and would hardly disagree with anybody. At best, would be smiling all the way for every comment you gave. He loved everybody, and we want to say poorly to the family for having lost a father and a relative. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Dan Wanyama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to say poorly to the family of Ms. Dena, who was a member of my Sports and Culture Committee. We will really miss him because he was a very committed member of the committee, and we did appreciate his contribution to the committee. So may his soul rest in peace. I thank you.
Yes, Ms. Chonga. Ken Chonga.
Asante mstahiki Spika kunipa nafasi hii pia mimi kutoa rambirambi zangu. Kusema ukweli tu kabisa, binadamu tunakuwa na maumbile tofauti, tabia tofauti, na pia tunakuwa na hisia tofauti. Lakini mwenda zake Hamisi Dena alikuwa mtu wa kipekee. Yeye tabasamu zake zilikuwa hazipotei hata kwa mtu ambaye alikuwa hamjui. Na alikuwa ni mtu ambaye kwamba ametumia wakati wake mwingi kuhakikisha kwamba anajenga urafiki zaidi ya uadui. Hivyo basi ilikuwa kufanya kazi na mwenda zake ilikuwa ni kitu cha rahisi, na wengi sana walikuwa wangependa kuwa karibu naye. Nataka kuchukua nafasi hii pia mimi kupeana rambirambi zangu za dhati. Mungu ailaze mahali ambapo Hamisi Dena alichagulia roho yake. Asante.
Sora.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to join my colleagues in condoling with the family of the late Honorable Hamisi Dena. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Dena had a special personality, very unique and very friendly. Honorable Speaker, my first encounter with the Honorable Dena, Honorable Speaker, I was actually doing my work of whipping, and I saw him, Honorable Speaker, somewhere having a meal. I hadn't known that he's a member of parliament because of his demeanor, the way he was quiet, engaging with everybody. And I whipped everybody that was there having lunch. And then one staff member told me, you've left a honorable member seated at that particular corner. Honorable Speaker, even having been directed where the Honorable Dena was seated, I still couldn't trace a member of parliament there because I didn't know him. Yet he had actually been in this house, Honorable Speaker, for about 6 months, Honorable Speaker. It was quite funny and, embarrassing to me, Honorable Speaker. That special demeanor, Honorable Speaker, eventually, of course, we became close friends and bonded and engaged in several activities, Honorable Speaker. And it's quite unfortunate that he passed on abruptly, without really any suffering from any disease that we knew of, Honorable Speaker. And this house really has lost a gentleman. I would call him, Honorable Speaker, in this 13th Parliament, Honorable Dena was the gentleman of the 13th Parliament. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Yes, Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also take this opportunity to give my condolences for the Honorable Hamisi Dena, who was with us in the nominated members caucus. We served previously in the Committee of National Cohesion with him. Honorable Dena was one of those individuals, as everyone has said, who was very calm, very peaceful. He had a very rich background in terms of experience of different places that he had worked in, including IBC, and he was a very fatherly figure to some of us who he interacted with closely. So on behalf of my family, the nominated members caucus, and the people of Nyamira, I express my condolences to his family on the demise of Honorable Dena. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also join yourself and my colleagues in eulogizing Honorable Dena. I was actually telling Honorable Mboko, before he was in ANC, I was with him in the defunct UDF party, 2011-2012, and we worked in many matters that we were working on then. But Mr. Speaker, as I send my condolences, allow me to deeply appreciate the members of this House. Mr. Speaker, as you remember, we had just taken our recess and members had traveled to Uganda as one of the lead treasurers and mobilizers. I want to apologize because I really bothered many of them because it was a tricky time, but I want to appreciate them on the behalf of the family because they were able to come through and we stood with our family as backed up by the clerk. And Mr. Speaker, everything went very well and very smoothly. And we are glad, Mr. Speaker, that he was able to be laid to rest with dignity. And we hope that he can find eternal rest. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Haika.
Asante sana Spika kwa kunipa fursa hata mimi niweze kutoa pole zangu kwa familia ya mwenda zake Dena. Dena tulimfahamu kama mjumbe ambaye alikuwa mpole, mkakamavu, mpenda watu, na zaidi alikuwa anapenda sana amani. Nafikiri ndio maana alikuwa hii chama ya Amani National Congress. Alipenda sana amani, na ni pole kwa familia, na kwa niaba yangu binafsi na niaba ya watu wa Taita Taveta, kwa pwani yote mzima tunasema pole sana kwa familia, na Mungu aendelee kuilaza roho yake mahali pema peponi.
Yes, who is the lady at the back? Is that Jen Kiara? Jen? Your hair is covering your face, I can't tell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to condole with the family of Honorable Dena on my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Naivasha. Mr. Speaker, I served with Dena in the Committee of Lands in the last session. He was a cool guy, very kind, and also very much informed on the surroundings and the nature of the work we were doing. He was peaceful. Whenever we went to Mombasa, he would host us to an evening coffee or something like that. So Honorable Dena, may he rest well. May God preserve him with the angels. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Who is the member at the back? Eh? Ikana, Fred Ikana. There's a light behind you, I couldn't quite tell.
Thank you. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kunipa fursa hii kuomboleza pamoja na wenzangu na kupeana rambirambi zangu kwa jamii na marafiki wa ndugu yetu Dena Hamisi. Jinsi unavyojua Mheshimiwa Spika, Dena Hamisi tulikuwa naye na ufahamu na utendakazi wa karibu sana. Kando na kuwa mwanachama mwenza katika kilichokuwa chama cha ANC, pia nilipata nafasi ya kuhudumu naye katika kamati ya uwiano wa kitaifa ya National Cohesion. Na ninakubaliana na wenzangu kwamba Mheshimiwa Dena amewacha alama ambayo haiwezi sahaulika katika nchi hii yetu tukufu. Naomba Mwenyezi Mungu aiweke roho yake mahali pema peponi, na pia azidi kuwaruzuku na kuwatia nguvu jamii na wale wote ambao waliweza kujuana naye na kushirikiana kwa mambo tofauti tofauti hapa duniani. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Yes, Mwalimu Kombe.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipatia nafasi hii nipate kujiunga na wenzangu kutoa rambirambi kwa jamaa na marafiki wa mwenda zake Hamisi Dena. Hamisi Dena alikuwa rafiki wa karibu sana, na nitamkumbuka kwa nyenendo zake na ucheshi wake. Sikumbuki kuona hata siku moja kwamba amekasirika. Saa zote utampata Hamisi yuko na tabasamu. Zaidi katika kamati tulikuwa tukishirikiana vizuri, na ni pigo kubwa kwa familia yake. Zaidi tu ni kumwomba Mwenyezi Mungu akawajaze nguvu wakati huu ambao Hamisi Dena hayuko pamoja nao, na Mwenyezi Mungu akaijalie kaburi yake kuwa bustani katika mabustani peponi. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Naomba wako.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa hii nafasi, na ningependa kupeana rambirambi zangu kwa familia na marafiki wa Mheshimiwa Dena ambao walituacha. Ni jambo la kuhuzunisha kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Dena alikuwa mtu mtulivu na mtu ambao alikuwa anaheshimu watu na kupenda watu na pia kupenda kazi yake. Alikuwa ni mtu ambao anasimamia kazi yake kwa heshima, na tena mtu ambao alikuwa anaheshimu hata mambo ya pati na mengineyo. Na ni jambo la kuhuzunisha tukisimama siku ya leo tukikumbuka vile alivyotuaga, na kwa hivyo mimi pamoja na watu wetu wa Marsabit tunatoa rambirambi zetu na tunapeana familia yake pole, na tukiwaombea Mungu ya kwamba Mungu atawalinda, na pia yeye tunamwombea mahali alipo. Asante sana Speaker.
Faisal.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, nami niungane na wenzangu kupeana rambirambi na pole zangu kwa familia na jamii mzima ya Mazeras kwa kumpoteza Mheshimiwa Hamisi Dena. Mheshimiwa Hamisi Dena alikuwa ni kiongozi mpole, alikuwa ni kiongozi msikivu, na alikuwa ni kiongozi aliyependa kushirikiana na wenzake. Mheshimiwa Dena alijitolea sana, hususan kwa mambo ambayo yalikuwa yakiongelelewa ya kaunti ya Kwale na jimbo zima la Pwani. Ni kiongozi alikuwa anapeana ushirikiano kikamilifu, alijitolea kwa hali na mali. Sisi kama wajumbe wa Kwale tunataka tuseme tumepoteza mmoja wetu, na tunazidi kupeana pole kwa familia, na tunasema Mungu ailaze roho yake mahali pema penye wema, na aendelee kuwapatia familia subira, uvumilivu, hususan wakati huu wakiendelea kumuomboleza marehemu Dena. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Osaris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, death never gives notice. And, you know, when we broke for the recess, we all thought that we'll go have our beautiful Christmas, New Year, and see each other in January. But that was not so for our colleague, Honorable Joseph Hamisi Dena. I feel for his family because I'm sure their Christmas will be one that they'll never forget. But I want to pray that they will find strength and continuity in their lives. So my condolences remain with them, for my county Nairobi, and for me and my family. Thank you.
Dagala.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also eulogize my colleague, Dena. I want to say on behalf of the people of Vihiga County and the former ANC National Women League, as I was their chair, plus Mother has just remembered we were with him from the UDF days. Dena was a very instrumental, he was a good man. We have lost somebody very instrumental as a country. I wish to condole with the family and ask them to remain peaceful the way Dena was. Dena, we could go to Mombasa as a family on a private visit. Dena used to take care of us. We've lost him, and may his soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. We'll end up there on Dena. May his soul rest in eternal peace. On NGCDF, I've been requested by Senior Counsel Otienda Molo and probably Chief Konga. I'll give you 2 minutes each to following the guidelines I gave in my communication.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Legislative and Litigation Caucus, chaired by the Honorable Samuel Chepkonga and myself, and a number of members are part of us, those who are present here. I see Honorable Mutuse, Honorable Gishimu, Honorable Murugara. I see my friend Kiremba, among others. Mr. Speaker, as we already indicated to this gathering in Naivasha on 6th of February.
Senior counsel, is Karembau's a lawyer?
No, as you know, Mr. Speaker,
Or is a cheerleader?
there are 3 non-lawyers who are ably assisting the team
Okay.
with the matters that may not be legal but are pertinent, pertinent to this house. And the 3 non-lawyers include Honorable Dawood, Honorable Zamzam, and Honorable Keremba. They are ably assisting us. Mr. Speaker, on 6th of February, the Court of Appeal gave a very well-reasoned and solid judgment delivered by the President, Justice Musinga, together with Justice Tuyot and Justice Mushelule, in 63 pages. Mr. Speaker, as the caucus, we've taken the time to synthesize it into just 2 pages, which we've shared on the wall, for members who do not want to read too much legalese. Mr. Speaker, we want to say very briefly, first, there are certain points we had raised before the High Court and later before the Court of Appeal, but in which we were not successful in the High Court. And so on the appeal, we raised 18 different points. And I'm happy to say, Mr. Speaker, that we succeeded on 17 out of the 18, except one which I will speak to. But it is important, Mr. Speaker, that this judgment is considered in its proper context. This judgment establishes certain constitutional principles that are very important. One, it disabuses this notion that the CDF may be interfering with devolution. And the court importantly observes that devolution is different from decentralization, and that these are decentralized funds. And you cannot stop national government from determining how it is decentralizing. Mr. Speaker, I beg that since I am helping members not to read 63 pages, I be given a little more time. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, secondly, there was this myth of division of functions, and that the CDF interferes with the division of functions and also interferes with the devolved funds. And the Court of Appeal was able to demonstrate that the entire CDF is restricted to what is already allocated to national government. Mr. Speaker, the court then went on to deal with the question of is CDF a unit of service delivery? Quoting the National Government Coordination Act, the court was able to establish that the constituency is a service delivery unit. And you cannot say that merely because it's called constituency, you cannot use it as such. And that is very important, Mr. Speaker. The court importantly found that there is nothing in the doctrine of separation of powers that makes NCDF unconstitutional. In fact, the court finds that it is quite consistent with the doctrine of separation of powers, and the myth that MPs deal and control CDF was found to be a myth without foundation and supported by fact, and that is very important. Mr. Speaker, the court importantly finds that on the question of the constitutional principle of public finance, NGCDF is quite consistent. And it also says that there is no need, and there was no need to involve the Senate, either in enactment or amendment of the CDF Act. And that is very important to know that even today, if we choose to enact, amend, we do not have to go to the Senate. Mr. Speaker, the court found that there's a presumption of constitutionality. This thing of starting by presuming that everything Parliament has done is unconstitutional should be the other way around. The court should start by presuming that Parliament in its wisdom acts constitutionally. And unless the person challenging it is able to demonstrate, then what Parliament has done should be sustained. Mr. Speaker, it is also important to understand that there's only one respect in which the court did not agree with us, and that is Section 43 of the Act, which talks of the tenure of the fund account manager. And the court found that that particular section is inconsistent and should be severed. Mr. Speaker, it is my advice to the team that even that we agree with. Because in truth, that section is misplaced. The fund account manager is not an employee of a member of Parliament. The fund account manager is an employee of the board. So how long they serve is neither here nor there. So we have no business appealing that. In fact, we agree with the Court of Appeal on that. we are happy to severe that and remain with the act as it is. It is important, and we thank the judiciary for its sensitivity in terms of timing. The decision has come at the last possible moment, knowing that by 15th, which is just next week, the budget policy statement has to have been rendered to this House. Had we not gotten a decision in time, then we would not have been able to factor in the CDF for the next financial year. So it is quite timely. Mr. Speaker, it is also quite timely because the High Court had decreed, but by the fall of midnight of 30th June, every project, every activity, every employee, and everything to do with CDF ceases. So all those who are employed, whether it's in the constituency level, at the national level, and all those projects, the sword of Damocles was hanging over them. And that uncertainty was already starting to affect so many employees who are starting to exit before the fall of that hammer. And so it has become very timely. Two more points, Mr. Speaker. It is important to understand that when we celebrate this decision, we are not celebrating it for the members of parliament. We are celebrating it for the citizens of this country. The fees we pay in terms of bursary is not for the MP. The classrooms we construct is not for the MP. The labs and dormitories we do, the fencing and gating. Mr. Speaker, all these things that we do, whether in terms of police, the chiefs, environment, it is for the citizens, not for the member of parliament. And if there are instances of abuse by any individual member, that should not be visited on the concept or on the act. And some people readily come and say, oh, you should disband CDF, give it to the governors, as if the governors are any cleaner than members of parliament. Or even if you took it back to the executive, as if the executive are the saints and saviors of our time. In all these sectors, there can be abuses, but each abuse must be dealt with individually. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, and I am happy that the Court of Appeal disabused this notion. A lot of people will stand and say, the work of a member of parliament is to legislate, represent, and oversight. And they speak it so many times that it starts to sound like an absolute truth. Mr. Speaker, there's nowhere in the Constitution which states explicitly that the only work of a member of parliament is legislation, representation, and oversight. Nowhere. It is by deduction of various other parts of the Constitution. But even those parts do not say only. Unless the Constitution says they only work, then by deduction, you can do those three and still do more. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I want to invite my colleagues. Do not listen to such statements. Go straight to Article 95. 95(2). What does it say? The work of the National Assembly is to discuss and resolve matters of concern to the citizens. The key word is resolve. If in your village, what is the biggest problem is a mudslide, then you are required to find a way of resolving it. If in your village it is death and people want to give people decent burial, it is part of your work to represent and resolve it. If in your village it is roads, although it's not in our mandate, you must find a way of resolving those issues of roads, of floods. In some instances, it gets to ridiculous levels. Even those who are going to pay dowry want you to help them resolve how to marry. And when they want to claim that dowry, they also want you to help claim. And if that is what concerns them, it is your duty. Those very people who are telling you it's not your work, and you come here and do representation as gallantly as we defended. We bear no ill will with the High Court that did not agree with us, because that is the nature of the law. I urge our colleagues to embrace this finding, to be confident and not to fear, to avoid vilification, but to focus on
non-lawyers. And the reason why they are there, a certain dictum of the law that says you must have reasonable bystanders. So Honorable Karemba is one of the reasonable bystanders in the committee. And in fact, he agrees with us that those other Bush lawyers were not correct. That in fact, the lawyers in this house were the correct ones, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, just to add just 1, 2, or 3 things to what Honorable Tienda Mola has just said. The Supreme Court was very clear on the question as to whether this law concerns counties. Mr. Speaker, they came out very clearly. They said the NGCDF does not concern counties. Mr. Speaker, this matter was brought to the lawyers on the other side. Argument that says this matter does not concern counties. They said nothing, Mr. Speaker. That is the reason why the Court of Appeal did not hesitate in giving judgment as it did, Mr. Speaker. So I'm wondering when they go to the Court of Appeal, because that is one of their very important points, that this Supreme Court, that this matter concerns counties, Mr. Speaker. I don't know what they are going to say. Number two, on the question of separation of powers, Mr. Speaker, some of us have visited the Congress in the US, which they say it is at the apex of democracy. And that is the best presidential system that we know globally, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the speaker there, like yourself, sometimes gives a member of parliament money, physically, to go and resolve issues that are of concern to his people in his constituency. Mr. Speaker, you don't give us cash money. This is money that is resident in the Ministry of Planning. And it follows a certain pattern of law, Mr. Speaker. So when we hear people saying, oh, the members of parliament...
You should clarify that the speaker gives state money, not his money.
No, oh, sorry.
Yes.
So, but it's also not a bad idea if you can give us
state money.
They give state money, Mr. Speaker, which is allocated to the Speaker's office. Mr. Speaker, and that is the best presidential system that is known. If, and as you know, Mr. Speaker, we borrowed a lot from the US Constitution. And so anybody who proposed to say that there is a pure separation of power, I don't know where there must be in a dream world. If there is indeed a pure separation of power, Mr. Speaker, when I was the chairman of Justice and Legal Affairs, the question that we asked the judiciary one time, if that is true, then it means construction of courts should be taken to the Ministry of Public Works. But it is the construction of courts is performed by the judiciary itself, Mr. Speaker. It is not, that is not a judgment they are writing. That is a work that is done on behalf of the executive, Mr. Speaker. So when somebody talks about pure separation of power, it is just a misunderstanding. And that misunderstanding will be clear to them as a finality at the Supreme Court, Mr. Speaker. The other one that there has been a misunderstanding, Mr. Speaker, is when they see us participating in public forums, when the NGCDF committees go around our constituencies. We sit there as part of the members of the public, and we just present very ably the issues that are of concern to the people, that there is a problem, persuaded by what we tell them, Mr. Speaker. We tell them that this child needs school fees because these are very poor, these are orphans, Mr. Speaker, and they agree with us because we have put it in the best way that we know. So the issue that we are dishing out bursaries is a misunderstanding because they also don't listen to the full story. If they listen to the full story from my Napo constituency, they will see me talking about students who are from the poor background. Please consider them. And they are considered, Mr. Speaker. What is the problem with agreeing with a member of parliament? So, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the members for standing with us, and particularly the members of the caucus. One of them is Honorable Kishimu here, who is my vice chair. He was recently drafted, but he's a very intelligent man also, Mr. Speaker. You listen to his plea, and he has joined us, and he's also very happy that we won. So, Mr. Speaker, we will defend with all the energy and the abilities that we have. And so I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, for forming this particular caucus. Mr. Speaker, that concern this House are well defended, and we want to thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order. Yes, Jeanette?
Mr. Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to thank the lawyers and yourself, Mr. Speaker, who have represented us in this case of the CDF. Mr. Speaker, the lawyers have proved here very well that they are learned and we are illiterate, but we are happy because we are all benefiting from their knowledge. You remember, after the new constitution, for those of us who are here in the 11th, 12th, and now 13th Parliament, this issue of CDF has been a big problem. Actually, there were two constitutional issues that have been a very big. People have been fighting this CDF, hiding behind the Constitution, saying that it's unconstitutional. It concerns counties, I don't know what, even our brothers in the Senate were not happy that we have CDF in the National Assembly supporting also the counties, that this thing is unconstitutional. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to thank the judiciary for doing their work, for standing for the rights of Kenyans, Mr. Speaker, because it is Kenyans who benefit from this CDF, Mr. Speaker. So with those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I'm not sure, I'm not the lawyer, I'm one of the bystanders. I don't see this case succeeding in the Supreme Court because, Mr. Speaker, the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, has given a very detailed judgment on this matter, Mr. Speaker, and anyone who's appealing is just wasting the court's time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I congratulate.
Yes, Hassan. Hassan of Kamkunji, is that you? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I wanted to also join my fellow members for congratulating the team, the legal team that represented us. Vindicated us, and they've also vindicated their position. This case was lost in the judiciary. I thought that maybe we didn't have very good legal minds, but obviously we have the best that we can, legal minds in our country here, and the Honorable Otieno Amolo and Honorable Chipkonga had done a great job with it. Level-headed, the most rational judgment I have seen since I came to Parliament on this issue of the CDF, because much of the argument was emotional, much of the argument was vindictive, in the sense that there were people who didn't want the poor people of Kenya to benefit this particular fund that was reaching the people at the lowest level of our society. And I always wondered, how is it possible for land judges to make such a terrible decision that denies ordinary Kenyans opportunities of advancing in education, sending their kids to school. As we speak, we have a registration center that is taking place, a bursary registration center. And when you look at the line of people who are coming, who are hungry to take their kids to school, who consider education important, but don't have the means to take their children to school, the CDF gives them a lifeline. And to think that actually that CDF fund that is benefiting the poorest of the poor in our country benefits members of parliament is rather a very poor argument. And I think this is a very good judgment. I once again say, hongera to our colleagues, well done. It's a victory for the poor people of Kenya. And it's a big victory for the poor people of Kamkunji, and I thank them for the role they have played.
The
Thank
last
you.
one, George Murugara. Huyo ni wa mwisho.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I joined the House in lauding the Court of Appeal because of this decision, which is going to be celebrated in this country. It's a lengthy decision that is very well reasoned, and as we have said, we abide by it, including the ground that we lost. But I wish to point out to the honorable members of parliament, when all is said and done, nothing has changed, including our roles in CDF. The fact remains that a member of parliament exercises oversight role over CDF, and this is what the court has affirmed. We have always said from the word go that we do not do anything else with the national government CDF apart from oversighting what the body passes is going to be implemented. Also, it is vitally important that, as we've been advised by the Speaker, we proceed with restraint. There is a lot that we do in the constituencies, but we cannot attribute everything we do to CDF. CDF does what it's allowed to do, and we have a lot more that we do in various ways with the sources of funds that are from elsewhere, and we are not going to stop doing that. Therefore, as we move forward, let us maintain the role given by the law as regards what a member of parliament can do in CDF. We also allow the Supreme Court, because it has who are saying they are going to the Supreme Court. They will be meeting us there, and we will actually be advancing the same argument that NGCDF has nothing to do with the county governments, the governors, or any of that money out there. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. We'll end there. Otienda Mola and your team, you forgot to also acknowledge that the Attorney General of the Republic supported the position of Parliament on this matter. Next order. Before we call the next order, allow me members to acknowledge a school in the public gallery, a school called Ali Mohajirun, JSS and primary school from Kamkunji constituency in Nairobi. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome them to Parliament. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5.
Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 10th February 2026. Number 1, legal notice number 166 of 2025 relating to the military veterans, General Regulations 2025 and the explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Defense. Number 2, legal notice number 190 of 2025 relating to the public FINA. Number 3, Management Wildlife Conservation Trust Fund regulations from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. Number 4, legal notice number 191 of 2020 tax exemption from the project on strengthening research capacity of Kenya Medical Research Institute, KEMRI, and the explanatory memorandum of 2025 relating to energy, biofuels, regulations 2025, regulatory impact statement, public notices, inviting comments on regulations and the explanatory memorandum from the mining of energy and petroleum. Number 6, legal notice number 200 of 2025 relating to the tourism enterprises, regulations 2025, report on public participation undertaken during the development of the regulations, regulatory impact statement and explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. Number 7, draft Public Service Commission affirmative action, regulations 2025 from the Public Service Commission. Number 8, the agreement between the government of the Republic of Kenya and the government of Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia on the defense cooperation between the government of the Republic of Kenya and the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe on cooperation in defense and training from the Ministry of Defense. Number 10, draft charter for the Kenya Advanced Institute of Science and Technology from the Ministry of Education. Number 11, intergovernmental partnership agreement between national government through the Ministry of Education and the county government of Nakuru. Number 12, recommendation on sharing of revenue between national and county government for the financial year 2026-2027 from the Commission on Revenue Allocation. Implementation of the Kenya Urban Support Program Phase 1 from the Auditor General. Number 14, Auditor General's report on consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of 9 funds. Number 15, approval of additional funding under Article 223 of the Constitution relating to the FY 2025/2026 from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. Number 16, National Government Constituency Development Fund Board Report for the second quarter of 2025-2026 financial year. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I beg to lay.
Next order. Musa Sirma is he in the house.
Point of order, Speaker.
Yes, Elachi.
He has given me permission to just lay the paper for him.
Go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, the 10th February 2026. Status update on the disbursement of funds and submission of project proposals for the National Government Constituency Development Fund Board for the financial year of 2025-2026. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Next.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements. Order number 8, motion, appointment of members to the House Business Committee.
Majority Leader. Junet.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move the following motion on appointment of members of the House to the House Business Committee. That pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 17-1-1F, this House approves the appointment of the following members to the House Business Committee in addition to those specified under paragraph A, B, C, D, and E. 1, the Honorable Robert Mbui, MP, the Honorable Adan Welia Kainan, MP, the Honorable Omboko Milema, MP, Honorable Faith Wairimu Gitau, MP, the Honorable Samuel Chepkonga, MP, the Honorable Tom Joseph Francis Kajuang, MP, the Honorable Sarah Polata Korere, MP, the Honorable Joshua Mwalio, MP, the Honorable Umulkhair Kasim Sheikh, MP. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Majority Leader. I request the Majority Leader to second.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and let me thank the Leader of Minority for moving this motion for appointment of members to the House Business Committee. Honorable Speaker, as members do understand, at the beginning of every year we have to do this. It's customary, and the members of the House Business Committee dedicate a lot of their time every week on Tuesdays from 11 a.m. to come and schedule business that is lined up in the following week, or rather in the course of the preceding week. Following week, not preceding, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, since many of these members have done a splendid job over the last year, we have, in both coalitions, agreed to maintain the same members within the House Business Committee to ensure that there is continuity in the committee. And Honorable Speaker, as you said in your communication, is an opportunity now for those who may want to revive the bills that had and motions that may have lapsed but were saved by our standing orders to now do what you have been advised by the Speaker, so that as we meet for the House Business Committee beginning next week, to be able to prioritize your bills for consideration. Equally, Honorable Speaker, as you indicated, up to the 19th of February, those who had questions and statements that they had sought that lapsed at the end of the last session can refile those questions and statements so that we are able to schedule the Cabinet Secretaries that will be coming to answer those questions. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and allow me to take this opportunity. Allow me to second and also to take this opportunity to welcome all members to this new session of the 13th Assembly, and also congratulate the Legislative Caucus team and our team of lawyers in the National Assembly, and those that supported us from outside Parliament for the great work that they did in rescuing or saving the NGCDF fund from the assault by those who may not understand the value of this fund to the people of Kenya and not to members of Parliament, Honorable Speaker. And also commend the court, the 3 judges of the Court of Appeal, for applying their minds and their intellect, and also being sensitive to the needs and aspirations of Kenyans in their development aspirations, and also conceding that this fund has a role that it plays in the development of our country and is not a threat to devolution in any way. And this fund is just for the benefit of many Kenyans across the entire country who depend on it to get to see children going to school, to construct classrooms. As the President has severally said, out of the 23,000 classrooms that have been built in the last 2 years, 30% of those classrooms have been done by NGCDF, and indeed is commendable by members of the 13th Assembly. Honorable Speaker, I thank you, and I second.
Thank you. Members on their feet, take your seats. Nguna. Honourable members, I now propose the question at order number 8, which is that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 171-1F, this House approves the appointment of the following members to the House Business Committee in addition to those specified under paragraphs A, B, C, D, and E. The Honourable Robert Mbui, CBS MP, the Honourable Adan Wahilie Keinan, CBS MP, the Honourable Mboko Milemba, CBS MP, the Honourable Faith Wairimu Gitau, CBS MP, the Honourable Samuel K. Chepkonga, CBS MP, the Honourable Tom Joseph Francis Kajwang, CBS MP, the Honourable Sarah Paulata Correre, CBS MP, the Honourable Joshua Mbithi Mwalio MP, the Honourable Umul Khair Kazim Sheikh MP. Do I put the question? I'll now put the question. And once I put the question, honourable members, the House will adjourn, and members whom you approve, if you vote in the affirmative, you proceed to room 9 immediately for House Business Committee to define the business of the House from tomorrow going forward. I now put the question, which is that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 171-1F, this House approves the appointment of the following members to the House Business Committee, in addition to those specified under paragraphs A, B, C, D, and E. The Honourable Robert Mbui, CBS MP, the Honourable Adan Wahilie Keinan, CBS MP, the Honourable Omboko Milemba, CBS MP, the Honourable Faith Wairimu Gitau, CBS MP, the Honourable Samuel K. Chepkonga, CBS MP, the Honourable Tom Joseph Francis Kajwang, CBS MP, the Honourable Sarah Paulata Correre, CBS MP, the Honourable Joshua Mbithi Mwalio MP, and the Honourable Umul Khair Kazim Sheikh MP. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honourable members, you may be upstanding now. Honourable members, the House now stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 11th February 2026 at 9:30